you can spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a solid wood exterior door. I took a fiberglass door that I paid $350 for, and I did a wood grain technique. I'm going to show you how to do it if you want to save some money. I still have to do my trim, so ignore that. Okay, got my base coat dried. And now we're about to start the wood graining technique, which is going to be super easy. I'm going to show you. This was a plain white board with no graining, but that looks like a real piece of wood. I did this on a fiberglass door, and I used exterior paint for my base coat. I wanted a real wood door, but I didn't want to pay what it was going to cost for a real wood door. So I bought fiberglass, and we're going to make it look like wood. So on this base coat, it was a matte finish, flat finish. And now I'm just going to use gel stain. And it dries quickly, but not so quickly that you don't have working time with it. The key, I'm going to go back to the base coat. The key to it is allowing your brush strokes to show and brushing it as if you were brushing with the grain of the wood. If this were a real wooden door, this would be a piece of wood and another piece of wood, and then these segments are separate pieces of wood. So you follow the grain, you don't just go haphazard. But it's important to do that with your base coat too, because these brush strokes and not getting it solid help in the finished look of a wood grain. Taking this gel stain, it's just a cheap, stiff brush, and again, we're just gonna go with the grain. I have taped the glass because I can tend to get messy and I don't want to have to clean glass all day, scraping paint. And I'm doing an even, I would say even coat of this gel stain, but I'm not making it super thick. It's getting even coverage. And the cool thing is, once I do my wood grain technique, if it's not what I want, I can wipe this down and start over. Okay. I'm using this wood grain tool here. I'm not an expert at it, but I'll link this in the show notes where to get it, but it's just ribbed. And the key to making it wood grain is starting at the top. I'm gonna flow without lifting it up, but I'm gonna rock it back and forth. And we're going to leave that. We're going to let it dry a good 24 hours. And then we'll come back. You see lots of yellow base coat. But this is after the second coat of gel stain that I brushed on and gently wiped off with a rag. So this is one step away from this. Start it right here on this. Okay, on this wider plank of wood, so to speak, to start. And then I'm going to start at this end. Now I'm using my smallest wood grain tool, and I'm just rocking it back and forth on these little trim areas. Again, it's just to get some wood texture going on in there. And I think it'll make sense when I put that second coat on and wipe over it. First coat of gel stain on using my Woodgrain tool. So we're just going to let that dry, and then we'll show you when we get to the second coat of gel stain. All right, so we've got that second coat of gel stain on using the Woodgrain tool. So once that dries, I'll do one more coat of gel stain, wiping it off, and I'll show you that. But I was going to let you know, I used, went to Lowe's, and it's a Valspar paint, but it's Sherwin color, Castle Harlech. So that was my base color. And then I'm using Men Wax gel stain, and this is walnut. I was going to show you, don't forget to do the edges of your door, because when it opens, if you left that door white, showing the fiberglass material that it is, it's going to take away from the realistic wood that you spent so much time doing. So don't forget to do those edges, and then just use your little Woodgrain tool for those edges. Well, here we are 24 hours later, and my gel stain has dried. It's not tacky, you know, lots of humidity, so I had to be patient. So what I'm doing, I've just started up here, and I'm continuing to follow my natural grain of wood, if you will. I did not clean my brush from yesterday, this cheap little brush, so it's real stiff. But I'm using this stiff brush because it's really given me some good thick brush strokes on top of this wood graining that I did yesterday. So I'm going to finish this one board down the side here, and then we're going to wipe it off, and we're going to start seeing a finished look. And then all that will be needed is a seal coat at the very end. So here goes. We're going to start just kind of lightly wiping. Can you see that? That looks good. Looks like real wood. We're going to paint our base coat now on the other side of this fiberglass door. And there was a tag on it that was sticky, so I'm just using some mineral spirits to get all that sticky off. So again, just like the other side, I'm using this exterior paint. It's flat. And I keep saying it, but you have to follow the way the wood grain would be if this were real wood. I am not trying to get a solid coverage, and this actually, for what we're doing to get this wood grain technique, the strokes from the brush are our friend. I will say I started out on a set of sawhorses, but I just finished that other side and it's still tacky from the gel stain, so I've just propped it on the glass on the other side so I could go ahead and get my base coat going, because I tend to get a little impatient. But I also want this ready for my contractor when he's ready to install it. I'm going to continue on, but before I get too far along, I will be stopping to put tape on the other side of my glass, just because it will be easier cleanup if I don't have, especially the gel stain on that glass. To me, it's almost like a dry brush technique. You're trying to kind of get all that paint out of your brush before you dip it again. Okay guys, today's the day to put our clear coat on. I'm just wiping it down to get all the dust off. I'm gonna let this first coat dry about 2 hours, and then I can put a second one on.